What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It's your boy Ernie, Blerd without fear. Welcome back to the channel. Today got a little something special, got a little collabo that I'm doing with my guy, Alternative Factuals. What's good, King?
Indubitably, sir.
Today, man, we got a little something special. We got some heat for you today. We got a little something to talk about. We got something that I think is gonna blow the lid off the Marvel Comics universe, and that is how the child of Monica Rambeau would smoke Franklin Richards. We're gonna talk about all that more right now, but first, wash your damn hands and let's hit that intro.
Word to wise, grass only greener when it's fertilized. Gave them truth in these songs, they prefer to lies. Destiny beautiful, adrift in her purple lies. You can't see me, you Stevie, wondering how I reach more evolutions than Evie and make it look easy.
Before we get started, if you want to see more awesome comic book videos like this one, it only takes 2 clicks to become one of Earth's mightiest subscribers. Click.
What we have here in this video, we already know that Monica Rambeau is one of the most powerful women in the Marvel Universe. We also know that Blue Marvel is one of the most powerful black men in the Marvel Universe. Now, me and Ernie, we talking all that stuff because, we play games, he has a Twitch channel, we vibe, we just be chatting and talking it up. And we thought this was just, we thought really it was a really good idea. And imagine if Blue Marvel and Monica Rambeau, because currently they're dating, what if they, loved each other so much and they decided to have a child? We thought, how problematic that child would be, and a really good chance that that child would actually be able to destroy, guaranteed, Franklin Richards. I mean, like, no jokes. And I know some people are gonna be triggered, and obviously this is not a fact because I know people are gonna try and talk about this anyway, like, oh, this is not true, this doesn't happen in comics. Obviously, this is just us speculating based on the circumstances we're presented. So I know people are gonna do it anyway, but I just wanted to make sure that there's just a disclaimer. This would be one of the most lit things you've ever seen in Marvel Comics, because if you look at the power set of Blue Marvel, we already know that this dude is literally a living antimatter reactor. He has superhuman strength. He's basically invulnerable. Flight, the run-of-the-mill powers, but he also has, enhanced perception. He has like a low-level version of like cosmic awareness, energy generation, bioluminescence, molecular manipulation, which basically means he can manipulate matter. He has a longevity. There's a lot of powers that Blue Marvel has, and then, oh my Jesus, Ernie, what are you talking about Monica Rambeau? Because I just can't deal with this no more.
Look, man, Monica Rambeau is out here. Look, let's just go ahead and put it on blast. Okay, for those who don't understand how Monica Rambeau's powers work, let's just go ahead and put it out there. She can basically control, project, and become pretty much any facet of the electromagnetic spectrum. I'm not even just talking about electricity. I'm not just talking about magnetism. She can also control and become gamma rays, X-rays, microwaves. At one point in time, I remember, I think this was roughly in and around the time of Civil War II, she was able to move at light speed and travel through Thanos' eyes. I mean, come on now. Now, granted, it didn't work. It didn't kill him or anything, but she's used that in the past to take people down.
And I think what many people don't realize either, because we were just talking about this, if you read, because I had to read this for the most recent video, is people don't know, like, her powers don't just limit her either to like the electromagnetic spectrum. She was able to actually physically manifest like magical energy in order to fight off the advancements of what's his name again, the one that Doctor Strange summoned in the Mighty Avengers. What was it, Volume 1?
Oh, Shumagorath. Shumagorath. She's actually, not only that, she's used it as recently as Avengers No Road Home from 2019, where she was actually able to act as a conduit through the Scarlet Witch. Basically, she was able to, because at the time, Scarlet Witch was blind. Monica was able to basically kind of turn into a light form and essentially dive into Scarlet Witch's mind and act as like kind of like electricity and like kind of like map her brain waves and see what Scarlet Witch was thinking, basically get, you know, Scarlet Witch's mind's eye vision of what it was she wanted her to do, and then was able to perfectly remember every rune, every hand sign, and recreate the magic that Scarlet Witch wanted to pull off. So yeah, dude, Monica Rambeau is no joke. People really need to stop playing her crazy like she is not out here, like she has not been out here this whole time. She is, I would say, I know a lot of, like right now, currently in the Marvel Comics universe, they're trying to say, oh, Sue Storm is the most powerful woman on the planet. No. Dead that. It's your girl, Monica Rambeau.
And what makes this even, this is what I'm saying. All right, now, we gave you a bit of a backstory, like 2 characters, right? 2 of the most powerful characters, or 2 of the most powerful characters in the Marvel universe, right? So then you have Franklin Richards. You already know Franklin Richards. He's basically, you know, Marvel Comics version of, you know, Jesus Christ. Pretty much, you know, he comes as a child and he, you know, basically gets older, sacrifice himself. Not really sacrifice himself, but he's pretty much Jesus Christ. So you already know he has the reality warping. He gets able to manifest, you know, small realities and small universes. He has telepathy, telekinesis, energy blast, precognition, all that stuff. He has astral projection. He has all these abilities that just seem so godlike. And supposedly he's supposed to be, you know, the last person at the end of time. He's supposed to fuse with Galactus and then move on to the next universe, right?
Right.
Now, here we go. Imagine combining Blue Marvel and Monica Rambeau. Like, these are 2 people who already by themselves are powerhouses. I mean, literally powerhouses. And then combining their genetics, those genes, those energies into a singular being. That means not only will they possess like all the powers of Monica Rambeau, which by far she's already an omega level threat, let's just be honest. And then Blue Marvel, who, even though he was classified as an alpha level threat, which I think is a total misjudgment of his abilities, just imagine combining them into a singular person. That means he would have the ability to reality warp, and then he would have the ability to, you know, manipulate matter, simply because Monica's powers would then further augment the powers of Blue Marvel, and then Blue Marvel's abilities would further augment the powers of Monica Rambeau, simply because they just go hand in hand together. We've seen their powers work hand in hand multiple times throughout, like, you know, ever since they've been kind of introduced to each other. And most people aren't ready, you know, really ready to talk about stuff like that. Let's say the child of Monica Rambeau was to fight Franklin Richards, for example. What is it that Franklin Richards can do that the child of Blue Marvel and Monica Rambeau, like, what's the difference between their abilities in terms of, you know, them fighting or going up against, you know, against each other? Because ultimately they can negate each other's attacks up to a certain extent, but I think, like I said, their child will be just a little bit more powerful. But how do you think their child will kind of come out in terms of abilities? Because obviously it's not going to be exact, you know, replica, but what powers do you think would, I guess, challenge Franklin Richards specifically that can derive from each character versus, you know, Franklin Richards, obviously?
I think, honestly, first and foremost, I think you're going to be looking at a character who would immediately have the abilities, at least some of the abilities of Monica Rambeau, in terms of being able to, at the very least, I would say maybe become energy. Would he be on the exact same level? But here's what I would do. I would actually throw one better. Blue Marvel has the ability to control antimatter. Like, he is literally an antimatter reactor, a living one. Okay, if you put those 2 abilities together, merge them together, if Monica Rambeau can literally become any energy in the spectrum, could you imagine him having that ability but also being able to become antimatter?
Ridiculous.
And I want to even point out, I just to prove how powerful this guy would be, you know, Blue Marvel's strength is untested. We don't know the upper limit of his strength, right? Could you imagine that just the fact that he was able to break the jaw of the Ultimate Marvel Universe's Hulk?
Single punch.
One punch, not 2. He literally was One Punch Man on this dude. He pulls some Saitama-ish, and what I love about that too is imagine the child getting those same, or maybe even close to that same level of power. And I don't know if anyone, you know, watching this video has been reading The Immortal Hulk, but I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but at the end of time, there are only like 2 beings left in all the universe, and that is the Immortal Hulk, and I guess what is considered the one above all. And originally Franklin Richards was supposed to be there, and the Immortal Hulk clapped him, and he didn't even have reality warping powers.
Right.
So like when people always talk about, oh, this character has reality warping, so they're basically OP, they're invincible. That doesn't matter.
I think it's my bad. I think you cut out for a second.
Oh, no. I mean, I legitimately stopped.
Oh, okay.
Look, that was technically my mic drop moment.
Let's kind of form this person, this embodiment of true power. So I think we can agree that one of the first abilities that we feel like the child of Blue Marvel and Monica would have would be just being able to turn into energy or some form of antimatter energy. That's just something we know off the rip, like, is an ability that the child is going to have. Just the combination of powers, I'm pretty sure it would be like some form of energy form or something like that along the lines. That's one power I think we both can agree on.
Right.
Now, another power I think would kind of manifest, obviously, would just be the outright, matter manipulation. Blue Marvel has the ability to do it, and it's not such a great degree, not even compared to like Molecule Man when it comes to Blue Marvel. But I think because of the combination of powers, he's going to be able to manipulate matter in general. So I think that's going to be a thing. His cosmic awareness is going to be enhanced further because, like I said, the combination of Monica. Her powers would actually augment Blue Marvel's abilities because we've seen that before as well. Obviously, the run-of-the-mill power, super strength, super speed, 9 vulnerability, and just due to his heritage, I think he's just gonna have hands. That's just fact of the matter. You're just gonna have hands. You got 2 parents who have hands. There's no way you're not gonna have hands. Like, they're gonna show you how to fight on top of their powers. So you're just gonna have that.
Oh no, that's automatic.
But one of the biggest arguments I want to make for a fact is, you touched upon it like a couple minutes ago, where Franklin Richards, his parents literally is just a dude who can stretch, and Sue Storm, who supposedly is one of the most powerful women in the Marvel Universe, but seems like every arc I've ever seen her in, she's just been like, oh, my powers are weak and faint. And then that's just pretty much about it. Now, in reality, Franklin Richards' powers, I know you have the X gene and all that stuff, but there's no way you can tell me that the Cosmic Control Rod did not give Franklin Richards a huge chunk of his abilities. There's no way in hell you can tell me that. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, I know the X gene can be random, it can be anything, like literally anything under the sun, but I'm just like, what are the chances?
Exactly.
What are the chances that he would just be able to warp reality like that on such a scale like that, especially when he had such interactions with the Cosmic Control Rod and had a huge incubation period in order for him to kind of be able to, I guess, recover from whatever complications he was having inside of Sue Storm or whatever like that. Now, some people are probably gonna be like, oh, it's a combination of the X gene and the cosmic rays from their bloodstream, whatever like that. I'm just like, but still, like that's just like a long shot in a lot of ways. So I think, in reality, since the Cosmic Control Rod had a huge involvement with his birth, I think that's where most of his power derives from. And I don't think he would be that powerful without it, to be honest with you.
Oh no, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. And once again, like I said, sometimes it's not always about the power. Like, a lot of times, like, we've seen in the past characters with reality warping abilities get clapped crazy, and it's usually by a character who doesn't even have half the power. So imagine a character who could probably actually go toe to toe. And that's another thing too. Franklin's not super strong. He doesn't even have hands. This guy is not a hand-to-hand combat expert. I would imagine that this, like, just by the nature of who and what he is, granted, yeah, he's at this particular point in the Marvel Universe, he's a teenager. And of course, we're talking about a theoretical child that doesn't even exist.
Right.
But, in regards to, the child of Blue Marvel and Monica Rambeau, but my thing is, if you match them, comic for comic, panel for panel, I would honestly say that, yeah, Monica Rambeau and Blue Marvel's child would have hands. They would have hand-to-hand combat experience. They would know how to throw a punch. And that's the thing. Like, if the Immortal Hulk, which for all intents and purposes is one of the most powerful beings in regards to strength and just pure indestructibility. Yeah, I'm just going to say right now, if that character can defeat Franklin Richards, who is a reality warper, what good is reality warping against someone who can clearly get their hands on you? Like, you can only go so far. Not only that, we don't really know the future of what's going on with Franklin now just yet, but he's going through some ish of his own right now. This dude may not even have powers by the time this is all said and done. But there's no way you can convince me otherwise.
That also what a lot of people don't realize either, which is like, maybe it's a small detail. I think personally it's a big deal. We've never even seen how Franklin can interact with like antimatter. Regular matter, sure.
Right.
But I'm like, antimatter, we have no idea if he can even manipulate that, or if he can even have some sort of say over how the antimatter particles even operate. And we haven't seen anything to dictate, you know, like that he could. So I'm pretty sure like that's going to be a big thing, where like you're dealing with someone who has both, you know, who can manipulate both positive matter and antimatter, and then over a sudden, you know, like, oh, if he can manipulate regular matter, then why not just bring in antimatter to the equation? You don't know that. That's a whole different dimension of, you know, particles in general. Like that's just, you know, that's just me, you know, that's just me. That's what I'm saying.
Here's my thing though, one thing I want people to understand, because I know people are already like triggered. They're probably sitting there in Yosemite Sam mode. They're like, ooh, like they're mad, get ready to like destroy their keyboard like with comments. But here's the thing, I don't even think that what you or I are even saying is that like we're not saying it'll be a flawless victory, you know. But what we're saying is that the character of Franklin Richards would most likely, in almost every scenario, probably not be able to hang with someone that had the combined genetics of a person who is so powerful that he is written out of most comic storylines, because he would literally undo any credible threat that could possibly come their way, who happens to be in a relationship with a woman who gets the same treatment. You know, lest we forget, Monica Rambeau had the power to destroy the ultimate Marvel Earth.
Right.
Earth 1610, she could have destroyed it, but she chose not to. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm just saying that I think a child of those two versus the child of a dude who simply can stretch and is really smart, and a woman who passes out every time she uses too much of her invisibility. I'm just saying.
So what I'm going to say is always bet on black. But anyways.
Damn right. That's the vibes. Y'all know the vibes. Okay, so yeah, we're talking about, once again, a theoretical child versus you know, a child that, you know, definitely exists. This is really just something fun to think about. It's not saying that, oh, Marvel's coming out with a Blue Marvel, you know, and Monica Rambeau child, you know, in the next, you know, 2, 3, whatever years or whatever. I mean, though if they did, I wouldn't be upset about it. You know, just saying wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But just saying that I feel like this is something that would definitely come up if this were the case. It's all just theories. Y'all know how I feel about it. You know, we can share these theories. You know, you can give me yours, I'm giving you mine. And you just, you know, all I ask is, you know, don't be a dick. Because if you're a dick, well, I'll just be a bigger one. But anyways, my guy, Alternative Factuals, tell the good people of Blerd Koa where they can find you.
YouTube.com/Alternative Factuals. On Twitter's afactuals1798, and Instagram Alternative Factuals. Yeah, I'm always down for a good conversation. Just come by, swing by, let's have a good old time, you know, all that jazz.
Go check my guy out. He's awesome. He's doing good things, especially if you like stuff like more videos about, you know, black comic book characters. You want to see videos about, you know, the Black Lightning TV series and various other like awesome TV shows. Just great theories about the MCU, DC Comics, Marvel Comics, DC, whatever. You know the vibes. Y'all know what to do. Go over and hit that damn like button. Hit that damn subscribe button. Hit all the buttons over there. Hit all of them. You hit dislike, we will come find you. Anyways, we're out of here. Y'all know the vibes. Comment, tell us what you think about our theories. You agree, do you disagree, whatever. But make sure before you do it, you wash those damn hands.
20 seconds.
And sound off in the comments. So hey, you made it to the end of the video. Awesome for you. If you enjoyed this video, and if you made it this far, I don't see how you didn't, do me a favor. Hulk smash that like button. And if you want to see more awesome videos like this one, make sure you click subscribe so you can become one of Earth's mightiest subscribers. And tap that bell so you know when I post up. Also, feel free to go check out my Patreon, where if you chuck in $1, you can get early access to most of my videos up to a week early. And if you have time, make sure you swing by nerd901.com, where you can find more of my content as well as other amazing stuff. Anyways, until next time, I love you 3000 plus Ultra.